All right. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We are live once again here on the Small Scale Life podcast and Small Scale Life YouTube channel. It has been a day. It has been a few days since doing a live stream, doing a podcast, all the things. And it is nice to be back. It's really good to be back. If you're checking in, if you're watching, check in, say hello. But yes, I am back. I'm alive. I'm back online. It's been a long time, and I was just looking back at pictures and files that I need to update and upload and put on smallscalelife.com and also on our podcast hosting app. And I'm like, wow, it's been a long time, and there's a lot of stuff that's happened between March and today. I mean, a lot. And I have to say that I don't feel like I'm the same person that I was back in March. And I'm sure my good buddy Adam Rick from Modern Frontier Farms would also say that. And hopefully he's here checking in, and he'll have always a quip or two because he can't resist himself. But it's been good. It's been wild. We're in day 38, 39, 452. I don't know of a government shutdown, a record-breaking government shutdown. And yes, I am a federal employee, so I'm dealing with that. And it's been interesting to work and not get paid. And like others have said, I like money. So it's like, oh no, what are we doing? But that's a whole nother topic. And really, if I look back and why I stopped doing this, there was a lot of chaos and bad energy going around in March. And I just had to step away for a bit. I had to go. We did a show about monk mode back when Adam and I were recording regular episodes. And I had to dig into monk mode and just kind of do that. And I couldn't do all the things. I just couldn't. So I took a step back in March, and I didn't know if I would ever do a podcast again. I was kind of like done. And this was my 10th year. We started Small Scale Life on October 19th, 2015. I know that because that's when I started my current job. And I was set this up and went on a trip down to Chicago, got sworn in, took an oath, all that good stuff. And that was the start of Small Scale Life. So it's been 10 years. I've been doing what I've been doing in my real life for 10 years. It's the longest stint I've ever had at a job. And I really like it. And I really like Small Scale Life. I mean, we've gone all over, wandered topics like crazy in 10 years, Small Scale Life. I'm a wanderer. I'm a professional wanderer. So that's what I was going to do. But it hasn't always been good because wandering and hitting all these different topics, you're never really focused on anything. So that was sometimes difficult, and it got me frustrated sometimes. And just when I'd get some traction on something, then I would, let's go chase this thing over there, from bees to homesteading to minimalism to budgeting to whatever. And we've been all over the board. But I think, as we come into I think this is our third winter here at the Landing in Western Wisconsin, in New Richmond, Wisconsin, on the banks of the Willow River. We're really putting some deep roots down. And even though there's all this chaos and weird stuff going in the world, and it's like a big damn dumpster fire, it does feel like we're putting roots down here. And as we'll talk about, as I was going along, I was like, I'm getting that. Something's whispering in my ear again that I need to get back behind the mic and I need to get doing this again. There's more stories to tell. There's more things to explore. There's more things to find out. There's more people to talk to. It's really interesting. And why can't I do that? And I should be able to do that. And I'm going to do that. So that's kind of where I came to. And Jules like, oh yeah, you're getting ready to talk again, aren't you? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So yeah, there's a lot going on, not only here, but in the world. We're not a political show, never have been, never will be, but there are some things that's like, really? So we might swerve into those a little bit. That's a change. We are approaching, a season, the winter season. Right now we're in that season of letting go and watching the leaves. I was just raking up all the leaves in my front yard and adding to my compost pile behind the garden back here, just right over there. And I'm just thinking, the leaves teach us this, the plants and the leaves and even the animals, they let go, they shed their, they molt, the birds molt and they grow new feathers, and dogs and cats and all other animals are shedding that fur and growing new fur and getting ready for the season. Because I think we're going to get hit this year. I just feel like we're going to get a big winter. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know. But it's, you can really feel it, that things have changed, and not just, in our yards, but, the world itself. So I think, the great wheel is moving forward. We're in a new cycle. And that's one thing that we really want to touch on here at Small Scale Life is, touching more the seasons and going with the change of seasons. And you'll even notice it here. I mean, I had that logo, the Small Scale Life logo, for 10 years. Loved it. Really loved it. But we're changing. We are doing something a little different. So we got a new logo. We got some different colors into it, showing the river and the plants and the birds. And that's what we're going to be doing. Just river life, living along the river, gardening along the river. There's so many interesting people that are up and down the river. I used to do a newsletter called News from Around the Bend, and that was our e-newsletter. And, it was all kind of tied to that. So we're just pulling that theme forward because, that's kind of who I am. I'm a Capricorn. I'm dirt and I'm water. So, half goat, half fish. So that's what we're going to do, is dirt and water, right? Dirty water. No, but it's kind of fun. And, it's kind of what we're going to be doing going forward. So we've had a real busy season. When I stopped doing the podcast, I started something else. And let's see if I can pull it up here. I think I can. Let's see. Bear with me for a second. Here we go. So I started something new. And I don't, if you're friends with me on Facebook or other platforms, you've seen this. And I even started it back in November, December. I was just kind of getting a feel for it. And what it is a new little project, a new little business. It's an actual LLC, believe it or not. It's called Tommy Cakes Seed. And I say Tommy Cakes Bird Seed because that's what it is. It's seed cakes, it's seed cylinders, it's suet cakes, it's all the good stuff. Wanda, our little pileated woodpecker, she just loves it. And then, we're feeding the birds, and it's been a fun little business. It's great. I just sent out a package. I just sent a package out to Illinois to a new customer, and it's fun, and it's fun to connect with people in this different way. I got to say, there's been some ups and downs as a small business, right? And you're learning how to do everything from making the darn stuff to perfecting the recipes to packaging, shipping, making sure it gets there in one piece. And I know I've had a couple friends that are like, oh, it didn't make it. It got crushed in transit. So I've had to figure out how to do this stuff and do it well and have it look nice and make it. And in July, I thought I wasn't going to make it myself. I thought, oh God, this isn't working. I've got to fold this thing up and not do it. But learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. And that's what we did. And it's been fun. So I'm selling seed cakes. Did my first vendor show at a yoga studio. They were having an open house with vendors, and a bunch of folks bought some cakes. It was great. And it's not just Julie's sister, Karen, buying them. Thank you, Karen, for all of your support and love, or Deb, her friend, buying them. Thank you for all the support and love. But it's other people in Ohio, in Rhode Island, in Pennsylvania, in Illinois that have bought it, in Wisconsin, in Minnesota. So it's fun to connect to people that way. So I see it as a way to connect. I also, birds are kind of interesting. We've had so many birds coming here to the landing. And that's one of the things that even happened at the farm, at our little Driftless Oaks farm in Maiden Rock. There's sometimes all we could do was watch the birds, especially after Danny, our son, passed. Is all we could do was watch and feed the birds. And it taught us to slow down and appreciate the moment. And Julie can be like the road runner. She packs her schedule full, and then she wants to meet more people and go spend time with more people. And I'm just like, I'm just going to watch the birds for a little bit. I'm going to go to the garden and watch the birds. So, it teaches us to slow down and observe the situation and observe the creatures around us, observe the birds. What are they doing? What are they eating? What are they enjoying? And that has been just a great blessing to do for me. I mean, I was in the backyard today. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Modern Frontier. Adam, my man, is on. Hey, Adam, good to see you, my brother. Thanks for checking in. How did the the birds are for us, and how was we're gonna have to have you back on very quickly because you have a lot going on down there near Milwaukee, near Waukesha, the farm store, the winter farmers market. There is so much that you've got going on. I can't wait to have you on. It's going to be awesome. He is a very happy mofo for sure. But Adam is my brother from another mother, and I just appreciate his friendship. And thank you for tuning in, my man. The birds have been great. And, at the farm, we started getting into it. We had little juncos and even a pheasant that hung out with us and the grosbeaks and all these things. And then when we moved here, it's like a whole new different world of birds. We had the upland birds, the birds up on top of the bluffs. Here, we're right on the river. So we have a different set of birds, including those crazy geese that like to come and visit our yard every spring with all their babies and everything and make my yard into it's a minefield of what. So, the birds have been great, and to be able to share that with other people and see that other people are into this as much as I am or more, which is great. It's been great. And, we just had, you all are probably rolling your eyes, but we just had free fertilizer. Yes, it is. Ew. I'm going to tell a story in a minute, but, a couple, like last week, we had 3 bluebirds come through the yard, and we've never had bluebirds here. I've never seen a bluebird in real world ever. Right. So we had 3 bluebirds here, and they hung out for a little bit and they were gone. We had woodcocks here, not last spring, but the spring before. And they were just so cool. They were doing their little, their thing. And I'd never seen those kind of birds before. Osprey, we have osprey that come in, or the Cooper's hawk that was terrorizing the feeders last winter. I'm sure he'll be back this winter. I mean, you just see things from a whole different perspective. One thing that we are a little bummed out and we're working really hard on are hummingbirds. And we just had a very few this year. But one thing that we've started to do, and we're going to talk about that coming into 2026, we have a whole plan, is started to plant a lot of pollinator plants, comfrey. I've got 11 comfrey plants from the 2 chicks, Aaron and Nate Lemaster, the 2 chicks school and homestead. They have an Etsy shop. They're selling comfrey. They are beautiful plants, just gorgeous. They're awesome. They had flowers, and hummingbirds love comfrey plants. And I know the deer have been coming through and eating some of that. It's good for their digestive systems as well. So yeah, that's Tommy's Cake Seed. It's on Etsy. I'm really going to put my efforts into Etsy, and it's also going to be down at a Modern Frontier, his farm store down near Waukesha. And he has got excellent meat down there. Beef, pork, chicken. It's awesome. And then he's got the winter market. My stuff is not going to be at the winter market, but he's got collected like the best of the best from the farmer markets and brought them into the Delsman winter market, and it's going to be great. So there you go, Adam. There's a plug, and I will keep plugging you because I believe in what you are doing, my brother. If you want Tommy Cakes, head over to the Etsy shop. We are running a sale, 25% off. There you go. Did you not think you're going to get an advertisement? Come on. So back to a little bit of rebranding. If you go over to the website, we have changed our logo. This is a autumn logo. So I've got logos for every season, and we're going to be changing and going with the changes of the season. Very harvesty, the golds, the maroons, kind of like the U of M Golden Gophers, my alma mater. But I always like, gold and maroon. They just go so well together. Of course, the birds and the plants and the river, it's all connected, and it's all part of my small scale life. And I was telling Jules the other day, if I look over, we moved 13 times in 31 years in our life. And believe it or not, and about 6 of them in the past like 5 years. If I think about that and where we've had success, where we've had good stretches, right? We've always been by water. When we've moved away from water, something happens and things just kind of go haywire, right? I mean, the farm was, I love the farm, loved it to death. That spoke to my soul. That area still speaks to my soul. The Driftless area down in Maiden Rock, that was an awesome spot. But it wasn't by water, and water wasn't close. I mean, we had to go, 10 minutes away. It wasn't too bad, but there wasn't a water body right there, and things just went sideways. And even north Minneapolis, that wasn't ideal. I mean, we had the Mississippi River that was about a mile and a half away or whatever, but it just, we weren't connected to it, and things were tough there, and that was a tough neighborhood to live in. So it's this realization that we must be connected to water. And if I look back, I've done shows about this in the past and articles about this. If I look back, Jules and I had our 5-year plan to move to Wisconsin, get a farm, or get a place on a lake, something, or get some water, get on water. It turns out we did all that. We accomplished all that. We had the farm and we got to the water. So it's pretty amazing that, for us, again, Capricorn, right? For us, it seems like we have this connection to the water, and we need to talk about that and how our lives flow and how the water flows. Sometimes we're easy, it's really easy paddling. The water's just moving along. Don't have to do much. But then sometimes, holy cow, here comes the rapids, and life is really tough. And then, oh shit, here comes the waterfall, right? And you're either going to go over the waterfall or you're going to get out in portage, and maybe you need some help from your friends to get there. And this is a great metaphor for life. This is what we do. And sometimes we need to take the channel less traveled, and go do some exploring and find ourselves back there. And that's kind of where I've been for the past, few months. So it's been good. It's been good. I mean, I'm not real thrilled about the shutdown right now, but there's nothing I can do about that. And I just need to breathe. That's a good thing I'm married to a yoga instructor, because she helps me breathe. So yeah, it's been interesting for sure. So we've done Tommy Cake Seed. Oh, we had a great garden season this year. How was your garden? Did anybody have a garden this year? How did your garden grow? I did not talk about it at all, and it just felt really weird. Usually I'm posting a lot and pictures and what's working and what stinks and all that kind of stuff. But this year I didn't get around to it. So I got to say, it was a very interesting year. And why I say that is, some things did very well, some things not so much, right? So we got nailed with a massive hailstorm. Well, first we had a tornado that was south of us, and we didn't have any damage from that. Then we had this massive hailstorm that just pounded the tomatoes into oblivion. And I can grow tomatoes. I've grown tomatoes that are 15 feet tall and loaded with fruit. This year, it was weird. They looked more like broccoli, right? They had all these stems, and then there was not much fruit. And I think the hailstorm really did it. I mean, we were getting pieces of hail. There's a potato that I just pulled out of the garden tonight. I mean, it was big. The hail was like this big. It's like, how big is that? It's almost a 50-cent piece, right? So that was some serious hail that pounded my tomatoes into oblivion. The peppers, they were like, yeah, we're still growing, bud. We're going to do great. And the jalapenos, the habaneros, the Beaver Dam peppers that Adam turned me on to a few years ago, they did great. Green beans did great. Cucumbers, tomatoes, not so great. And then we fought squash bugs and squash borers like mad this year. It was bug central on the squash, but we did get some delicata squash, winter squash, delicata squash, and some acorn squash. We did get that, but man, was it a struggle. The struggle was real. So it was just a battle. And of course, if you know me, I had to do some changes this year. I'm going to pull some things up here. Hold on. What, did I not pull one of those? So we had some changes to the garden. I like to change things around, so I moved away from the hybrid rain gutter grow systems after last year. I mean, I like the grow bag systems. I like working with those and keeping everything separate. Then I don't have to worry about companion planting. And does this go with that, or does that go with this? You just plant it in a bag and go. But this year we changed it all up. I wonder if this is pictures. Hold on, bear with me. I'm pulling up a picture here. Here we go. Yeah, so this year we did something a little different, and gone were the grow bag garden systems with grow bags and a wicking table. Actually, I did know I had looked at one of these pictures before. But so what I built were, and this is an example right here, is a wicking barrel garden. So this is a half 55-gallon poly tank, poly drum, 55-gallon barrel, plastic. And I built a frame around it, built legs. This one is a 3-barrel or 3 half-barrel planter. Usually they're just 2, but this one I decided to go for it, made 3. This was my tomato bed this year. And then there's a pipe system underneath where you can fill up where this white snorkel is, and it fills up the whole reservoir down there. And once it gets to a certain level, there's a drain hole and it drains right out. And I'll have to do a show about this, just kind of walk you through it. So I bought barrels from a gentleman who was moving to Texas. He had a barrel garden. He didn't put it on legs or anything. He just had these half barrels in his garden. I went up and I was like, yep, I'll take all of them. And ended up with about 12 of these. And I made 2 for my mom, and then the rest I used. And then you can see in the picture here for all of you listening on the podcast, I've got 3 barrels that I had on the ground, and those were just my kind of lazy tomato or potato garden beds. So next year I did learn some lessons with doing potatoes like that. They need more soil. They need to be deeper. So I've got some ideas for doing that. The tomatoes, they got pounded by the hail, the 50p, the big hail, right? Kind of like one of those big marbles, not the little marbles, the standard marbles, but one of the big ones, right? So these things got just leveled, and I didn't like the way the tomatoes grew this year. So we'll play with that. I was playing with the old style, my typical style of, putting wire around the stem of the tomato and wiring it up to a conduit that's about 6 feet in the air or 7 feet in the air. One thing that I learned this year that I really liked was we put in a cattle panel on our 2 big wicking tubs, and man, things grew great. I really like that. We had beans climbing up the wicking, the trellis, and I'm just looking for, sorry everybody, I'm just looking for a picture of that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I know I've got some around here somewhere. So it just was super easy, and I've just been learning through this whole process. And it's kind of like going to these barrels or going to that style of trellis. Just, there's so much going on. Just make it easy, and things will grow, and plants will help guide them up, and they'll just do it. I don't need to micromanage all the plants, right? And we'll just let them grow. We don't micromanage all the plants out in your yard or in the woods or anything like that. We just let that stuff grow. So yes, we need to weed. We can guide it and direct it, but I don't need to micromanage it. So I'm just looking for a picture, and you can tell it's been a busy year because I don't have a ton of pictures all just ready for you. So garden was interesting. It's good. We also did some other types of gardening too. So we had the main garden with tomatoes, green beans, squashes, potatoes, cucumbers did not do well this year. I got like round, ugly tomato cucumbers. They weren't like the nice ones I wanted to make pickles, and that just didn't happen. They weren't cooperating this year. So great pepper season. We had a really good herb season. Jules had a separate wicking bed for herbs, and again, I'm going to have to document all this, but it's the Fisher trough, and I'll have to tell that story too. So it's a 2x4 watering trough that actually was a hog feeder. So it's got this interesting cutout for or a spot for where the feed used to come down for the hogs. But Jules planted, basil and rosemary and lavender and chamomile. I mean, it was packed, and she actually had a pretty good run with her herbs. And then my ginger did great. Just harvested off the ginger. Got a lot of baby ginger that I'll use in kombucha. And then the big one, we already talked about the comfrey, but we really were working on the shoreline this year. It did kind of get away from us like in July because the weeds were it was hot and heavy. So, but we're getting great wildflowers on there. We had 2 patches of wildflowers, a lot of zinnias on one, and then just an odd mix of other wildflowers on the other. And man, it just it did really well and really brought in the butterflies and all kinds of bees. It's what we wanted, right? And we want to encourage that kind of thing. So we are going to put in a whole row of wildflowers next year along the fence line, and it is going to be beautiful, and it's going to be pollinator central. We really want to bring in those bees and the butterflies, and especially the hummingbirds, right? So let's see. I think I had a bunch of photos of that somewhere. Oh, why be prepared for the stuff, right? But yeah, we'll go into more detail. I'm going to have to get a rototiller and till up some along the fence line, and then we're just going to plant like crazy. So that is something that we're going to be doing next year. We also have the front pollinator garden right up front. We have our little library up there, and we have coneflowers and bee balm and all kinds of things growing there. And next year it's going to be even better. So we had some butterflies this year that I found the caterpillars, and then we brought them in and had a little wire mesh cage, and they built their cocoons. And then we had 4 emerge. We only lost 1, but this is one that we had in our little mesh tent thing. So this was one that we hatched. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but it was a great year. It was a lot of learning you don't want to hurt the butterflies. You want them to be successful. And it just felt like a lot of responsibility, but it was pretty cool. So this is one that actually successfully hatched, and we put them right out on the pollinator garden. It just hung out there for a while, and then it figured it out and off it went. So it was a great year. I mean, 4 or 5 butterflies, and then we had so many caterpillars in our milkweed. It was so great. We just want to encourage that, we really want to encourage that and do more of that next year. So yeah, that was a lot of the garden stuff that we got going on. I do have some rhubarb that's growing, and if you got a way to take care of vetch, let me know. I have a lot of vetch. Adam, if your cows want vetch, I can get them vetch. What else? Oh, we did take a couple trips. So we went up to Canada. Jules' first time in Canada. We went to Grand Marais in June, and it was cold up there. So we were going to be in a tent, and Jules and I wussed out and took a room at a small hotel. I don't know. Maybe we're just getting a little older and didn't want to sleep on the ground. And yeah, we decided to, bag it and get a nice little Airbnb. And the funny thing is Jules' dad and Sue, they went up there like late in August, and they stayed in the same room, and they really loved it too. So Grand Marais was fantastic. Went into Canada. We went to an amethyst mine. Oh my gosh, we saw so many things. And amethyst mine, we also saw some waterfalls. We hung out. Here, I'll bring up another photo for you. It's like my vacation photos, right? Everybody loves that kind of stuff. I don't have a co-host today, so you're going to have to love it. So we were there on a full moon, and Jules and I went out to the breakwater, and there was a tall mast ship, the sailing ship out there, and they do tours and teach you how to sail and all the things that are required out there. And it was just going back and forth, but sun was going down and the lighthouse was right there. And we just watched the moon rise, and it was so cool. So I took this photo, or a photo like this, and it is now on the front page of Small Scale Life. So it's the whole lighthouse theme. If you've been around here, you've probably heard that before. And my good friend Greg Burns from Nature's Image Farm talks about that. Greg and Susan talk about that all the time, being that lighthouse. And I know some say, well, you're a lighthouse. You're that solitary thing out on the rock all by yourself. And yeah, I can see that point. But also, you're shining that light and giving people hope and inspiration. There's a lot of different ways you can look at that. So this is just it was cool up there. It's like you were in the show Northern Exposure. I was expecting a moose to trot down the street. So Grand Marais is super busy in the summer, and then winter comes and it is Deadsville up there. So it's pretty sweet. So, who's that guy? Oh, hello. I did just a scotch of fishing this year from the shore at the landing. This was the nicest bass I pulled. I got some northerns. I caught some bass. I really do need to fish more next year, and that's part of connecting to the river here. So, this is a nice little chunky bass. It was a good one. So, 2 weeks ago, we went down to Decorah, Iowa. And if you know where Decorah is and you are a gardener, you might know that name might be familiar to you. That is the home of Seed Savers Exchange. So we went down there, really enjoyed it. It's like my Disneyland. So it's really funny. I mean, it's almost like somebody was saying, yeah, you're not going to be buying anything because their online store went down. They had a glitch in the net. I don't know what was going on, but I was expecting to buy some stuff, like a whole bunch of seeds, but with everything down, I couldn't buy anything. So what we did is we walked around the property, and I'll show you a picture of that at the end here. We walked around the whole property, and it was really cool. We got to see so many things, and it was gorgeous and beautiful weather, and it was just really worth it. I mean, even if you go there to just explore, go for it. They have an orchard there that's super cool with so many heirlooms and different things they got going on there. Their gardens are fantastic. And even though we were at the end of the season, it was still gorgeous and really nice, and kind of an ideal situation there. So Decorah was cool. Loved it. We had a really good time. So as we start to move forward, we'll be working on the shoreline next year. I've got some ideas for, I've got 3 barrels that have not been cut in half yet. And I would just love to add a couple more, a couple more garden beds. And I'd also like to try out some things to get better potato yields out of those wicking beds. So, and then I've already changed one of the trellises on the 3 barrel. It's not what it was, so it's all changed up. So I'm ready to go for next year already, so that's going to be great. The other thing I'm going to be building is a wood rack for firewood, and just a simple lean-to type structure. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that yet, but that's probably not going to happen until the spring. So we've got spaces for wood storage right now, but that's one of those things. What else? Yeah, we're going to kind of wind down here. Any questions from you, the audience, Mr. Adam, since you're the one typing like a madman? He did say vetch is a great forage. Yes, that's what I was going to say. I could give you some of that. Seeing no questions. Okay, so one thing that I did want to talk about, pretty serious. We have been going through the shutdown thing, and there's been a lot of things said, done, undone. One thing that is concerning is the food security issue. 42 million people are not getting SNAP benefits, and I don't know how they all got there. I don't really care at this point. That's a discussion for other people at other times. But there's people that are hurting right now, and not getting access to food. So look around your neighborhoods, look around your town. There might be people with pantry boxes out there. They've taken little libraries and converted them, or have a pantry next to a little library. Jules and I were talking about that. I mean, you know, we can put a little food out there, right? And help people right down the street. We have our public library, and someone built a larger little library down there, and it's stocked full of food. Somebody totally stocked it this morning. So that's great to see. This is a great community building effort, and being there for the community. So think about that. I mean, maybe you don't have to have one on your property. Maybe you can stock somebody else's. I mean, somebody has been coming to our little red library and just stuffing it full of books. I mean, all kinds of books for all kinds of people. And God bless them. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, it is so cool to go over there and weed and pull out all these little maple trees and then look in there and it's like, holy cow, look at all the books in there for all ages and all backgrounds. So it's super cool. So if you see a pantry box out there, put some food in it. Why not? Right? Maybe the SNAP goes away. I don't even know, but we can at least help folks in our community and do the right thing and be that lighthouse for people, right? I mean, if we got a little extra, we can put a little in there and just help people out. And part of this too, I mean, we've looked across the spectrum. It's, we have the SNAP piece. There's been a lot of layoffs right now. I mean, 153 on almost 154,000 layoffs last month. It's incredible. We've had over 1 million layoffs in the private sector this year. That's concerning. That's a lot of people out there that are looking for jobs, that are hurting, that might need some food or clothes or something. So make some donations, put some food out, stock one of these little pantries. We'll see where the river takes us. We'll see what happens with all the stuff in the far off places, but we can help our neighborhoods and our neighbors and help some people right here, right now, and not worry about what brand X says and then brand Y retorts with something else and blah. Who cares? We can help people right here, right now. There's been some chatter in our local community Facebook group about, okay, what do the food shelves need? What kind of food do they need? I bumped into a food shelf operator, person that works there and is in leadership. And I asked her the same question. I was like, what do you all need? I mean, what kind of food do you need? What kind of things do you need? And she's like, we've got enough food right now. We've got enough volunteers, more than enough volunteers. We need some money. We could use some cash or a check or whatever. So maybe you want to just send a few bucks over to the local food pantries or the county food pantries. Give them a little bit of money, give them a little bit of love, and they can buy whatever they want. I mean, this lady had so many eggs in her basket. I mean, I was just like, oh, you're cleaning out all the eggs from Walmart. But maybe they have some contracts or who knows what they got going on. But yeah, take a look at that. See what you can do. Talk to your local food shelf people. There's going to be a lot of need coming into Thanksgiving here. I'm worried about this stuff. And even though I'm not getting paid, we're going to try to do some things to help. On the community front, we did have a chance we organized it. We had a bunch of people over to our house at the beginning of October or end of September. No, it was early October. We had like 20 people, 20 different families showed up and cooked them burgers and brats, and everybody brought something to pass. And we just got to talk to people. We have so many new people in this neighborhood. It was a wide range too, right? We had one lady that was there since 1986. Another gentleman, he had born and raised in Richmond, and here he is. And then we have a family that lived down in Texas and sold their house, purchased an RV, and toured the Southeast and the West for like a year. And then they bought the house across the street. 4 kids, they got a great experience, right? That's kind of an interesting story. I'd like to bring that guy in and have him on the Small Scale Life podcast. Let's talk about that a little bit. How was that living in a camper down by the river? No, the camper and traveling the West with 4 kids. Yikes. Holy smokes, Were they all ready to kill each other at the end of that? Or did they ever ask Dad, how close is it? How far is it? Are we almost there yet? So Yeah, it was really cool to have everybody over, and we love to do that for Christmas. You know, our Halloween, we had big ideas, but it was raining, kind of crappy. And then where our house is, the sidewalk ends, so everybody crosses the street and shoots down the street. So we're kind of on the edge of the downtown area, so it's kind of weird. We don't get a lot of trick or treaters, and we loved that. Yeah, contrast that, and you know, I bought some candy, but I think we ate it all. Contrast that with Julie's sister down in Georgia. They passed out 8,000 pieces of candy, 8,000, and it looked like The Walking Dead over there, or a parade or something. I mean, there were so many people in the streets. Just on those pictures, it was like, holy cow. Maybe we could have a little bit in the middle, or closer to like maybe like 200 pieces of candy, right, or something. So we've got some ideas for that for next year. But you know, connecting in with the community, Adam does this so well. I mean, he has friends in so many communities because he's a farmers market guy, and he bounces to like 5 or 6 different farmers market. Plus, he's organized his own now, so he's got the farm store. He like knows everybody, so he does this really well. And you don't have to be Adam, but you might want to do something, right, and connect with people. I think that's pretty cool. We've got the holidays coming up. You know, there's going to be tree lighting ceremonies and all kinds of stuff. We just had the pumpkin plop at the fire station today, where they took a ladder truck up and just dumped all these pumpkins down there. There was a pile of pumpkins that was almost as tall as me. It was pretty amazing. So go to some of these little events, you know, check your city's Facebook page, see what they've got going on, and just kind of engage, be part of the community, you know. It's what it's all about. So, okay, so that's about it. What else? This is kind of my warm-up show. I just was thinking, yeah, maybe I should kick some dust bunnies off and figure out if I know how to do this thing again. So I think I'm going to round it out quick here. Pull this up, bring this in. So Wednesday. First, we're going to have a happy Veterans Day. That is on the 11th, 11/11. A lot of ones there, some numerology going on. But we're going to have Veterans Day on 11/11. And then the day after, we're going to have a new podcast up that's going to kick off the new me. And this picture was actually taken down at Seed Savers Exchange way back in their property. This was just a super cool picture. And, you know, you got the driftless, the hills and those old bur oaks. And, oh, man, so cool. The trout stream is right behind me. The beavers had built some dams on it and stuff. So just so cool down there. And like I said, it is my Disneyland. So, yeah, so we're going to do this on Wednesday this week. So we're going to come out on Wednesdays. The other thing that I'm looking for feedback on is, you know, email newsletters, just like one more thing, but I guess Substack could be an alternative to like MailChimp and your email. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not too, I haven't done anything with Substack. I mean, I went on there today. I did set up an account. I could do it. Don't know. What you think? Do you think that's a good idea to do Substack or something like comes in your email box? That's the question. Let me know. And you know, some of the things that that Julie and I are thinking about as well is, you know, like we're talking about this whole food security thing, trying to put some recipes out there, some things you can do with pretty basic ingredients, you know, but are healthy. I mean, that's like the holy grail, right? I mean, yes, it's great to use special trout raised in a pristine lake on the top of the mountain where no pollution's ever touched it. That would be ideal. But we live in the real world. I mean, you know, Snap, you're only getting $6 a day. And if you're laid off, you don't have many savings, you're not going to be going out and getting, you know, filet mignon. You're just not. So we got to figure out, how do we do this and not just go get Doritos or something, or tortillas with some nasty stuff in it. So let's figure that out, right? And I'd like to put that on the email newsletter. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm looking for ideas on that. So, all right. Any questions from the audience? Anything? Those that are listening, we're approaching the 45-minute mark. Nothing. Well, maybe we'll do this real quick. I think not to leave it on a weird note, but I think this picture here is the iconic photo of this administration. We're only 11 months in. What's next? Yes, but I think this is an iconic picture of just kind of what this whole thing is all about. But yeah. What's next? Okay, so what's next, Mr. Adam, who wasn't paying attention when I was asking? Got a show on Wednesday. Okay, that's next. We're going to be talking about a few things about the new direction and all that kind of stuff. We've kind of been talking about that a little bit today. Probably some other stories and stuff. So that's going to be Wednesdays are going to be the show. Okay, that's when things are going to come out. If we have special guests and whatever, we can do things whenever we want. That's the beauty of having my own show. So Wednesday show, we're going to have social medias, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's kind of my three. Trying to decide if I want to do an email newsletter on Thursdays or if we do a a Substack on Thursdays, and that's where recipes could be. I'm looking for some feedback. What do y'all think about that? And keep it free for now. I mean, I'd never been on Substack till today. I was like, some people are charging this much for content, and I've been doing this for 10 years and not. What is matter here? What am I doing? But yeah, so that's what's next. We're going to have Wednesday shows coming up. Okay. And Adam, you need to get back on with me when you have a moment to breathe, and we need to catch up with you. And I'm going to be seeing you not this weekend, but next weekend. Okay. I've had some orders go out, so I'm going to be in the creation station, whipping up some new cakes and cylinders and all the things. So they're going to go in the store near Waukesha, Wisconsin, in Adam's farm store, the Modern Frontier Farm Store. So if you want Tommy cakes, you can actually go to a store, look at them, smell them, do not taste them. I mean, yes, lots to talk about, my friend. Do not taste them. I mean, Adam might taste them just because he got me to taste them way back in January. But don't taste them, Adam, even though you might be hungry and they actually do taste pretty good, but do not taste them. But yes, super excited to see you again, my friend, and hang out for a minute or two before we head back home. Yeah, that's what's next. Hopefully that works. So, and of course, if things come up, we'll reschedule or adjust or, adapt and overcome. So I hope you all have a great couple days. There we go. Here we go. That's the man. So Adam's Modern Frontier Store on Highway 18, halfway between Wales and Waukesha. The Modern Frontier Store. All your meat needs, your beef, pork, and chicken. Now I got to work on a delivery. Grass-fed, pasture-raised, pasture perfect, and really good. I mean, I'm not only the advertiser, I'm a customer too. So I have had the Modern Frontier meat. It is fantastic. The meat sticks are to die for. The beef is excellent. The chicken, the pulled pork, so good, so good. And I've got just a little bit left, believe it or not. It's been hanging around, and I'm going to demolish that stuff at deer camp. So that's the deal. And let's talk about deer camp, Adam, because I'm not a deer hunter, so I might just leave that to those guys and to Ryan, and then maybe I can come down to see you. But if you're deer hunting, then we'll just have to figure something else out. So we'll figure it out, my friend. But yeah, there is a lot to talk about. Go to a Modern Frontier. You can also order online. Adam, are you going to have gift boxes coming up for the winter, the holidays? the different products, that trout spread, the meat sticks, the cheese, the crackers. Let me know because it was really good. Yes, sir, he says. So he will have those awesome boxes. And I can tell you from experience, we ordered one last year. We had all the family in, wiped out within a couple hours. I mean, that smoked trout dip, gone just like that. It was just gone. And I barely got any. So, um, yes, awesome. They will have gift boxes. You can order those. They come in a day or two, and it's beautiful. The package really well. It's got the Modern Frontier stamp on it, stamp of approval, and it was fabulous. So awesome. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you, Adam. We'll be back on Wednesday. We will be talking about, where is it? Okay. Letting go and beginning again. And I hope you come in and join me. So bring your questions and your comments. Adam always does. And we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, on a Saturday night, right? 7:30. Is that right? No, almost 8. I don't have my glasses on. That's one of the other things that happened in the last 9 months. Got to wear these darn things so I can read anything, right? So bada boom, bada bing. We'll see you real soon. Remember to learn to grow, be a little better every day. We'll see you real soon, and take care, everybody. Bye. Later, brother. He always gets in there. Later, brother. See you, Adam. Bye.